Hello, everyone. It's nice to be back. I was, a few seconds late. I think we got a little bit glitch on the system, so you just gotta wait for more people to show up. Um, Hello, Joseph. How you doing? Innocence, Far, Amayo, Jocelyn. Nice to have you guys around. Today we're going to be talking about preparation. I'm really excited about what I'm going to be talking about today because, there are a few things I want to do in the next 2 months, 3 months. I just want to see how many people I can pop up to, join me in the world of digital technology. When I say digital technology, how many people I can have working to really, design for themselves, an income online, having multiple streams of income, and really working, really making it work, really getting excited about it, because people ask me, why do I do this? You see, the thing is just that I like to see people succeed. I know that in Nigeria, it is people just sometimes don't get it. They say, what do you get out of this? But sometimes people do things because they just love doing it. And I love to see people succeed. And that is what drives me, because I believe that it's one thing to talk about it and talk about it and talk about it. But at the end, if we can have a lot of successful people, a lot of successful Nigerians, a lot of successful Africans, then we'll be able to create a better future. And I believe in that. So a lot of the things that I do, I may personally not see the result today, but the result will come one day. One of the people that I am training or I'm going to train might come up and be better and bigger than I am, and they'll be able to do more than I have done and impact others. And that's just it. I'm very happy for that. So today I want to build up this sequence of training, because like I said, I'll be in London, and this time I'm really going to be in London on the 10th and 11th of next month. So I'm going to be there. So nobody has asked me yet how they will come. I've prepared the website. Everything is ready, so you can visit it. I'll give you the link tomorrow, so you'll be able to go there and check it out. So I'll be in London on the 10th and 11th of March, and it's going to be a whole entire day. So where you can hear me live, and I will talk from morning to evening, and the next day I will talk from morning to evening as well. And if you like, you can, we can sit down in the evening and drink in a pub and still keep on talking about business, about how to set up your business online, about how to make use of the modern technology, the digital age. Now, I must say, when I started in digital age, I started like 25 years ago in the computer industry. At that time, nobody thought the computer industry would get to this state. Then when the internet came out about 20 years ago, people thought, okay, it's nice to send emails to each other. Nobody thought it's going to be as big today. So what I've discovered is that every time we always think we've gone to the end of it. And then, if you move in 4 or 5 years later, you discover that, wow, it is much more bigger than we thought it was going to be. And then at that time, people would think, oh, this is the end of it. And then, that's how it has kept going. But I want to tell you this today. If you think that internet is big today, if you think that digital technology is big today, then you have another thing coming your way, because what is going to happen in the future, and what I mean a year or 2 or 3 from now, is much more bigger than it is today already. So therefore, why am I doing this? The African people have always missed out up to now. You see, the poverty in Africa, especially Nigeria is the most populous African country. The poverty in Africa and the property with Nigerians all over the world could have been reduced drastically if only Nigerians have understood the power of the internet. Okay? And because Nigerians did not understand the power of the internet, and they are not prepared for it, and they have not been able to use it. Only one group of Nigerians actually understand the power of internet and prepare for it. And these are the guys who are doing 419. You see, these guys, they've always been prepared. They know how to use the World Wide Web to rip off people. But these people, they are a very small set of people, Nigerians, very small set of Nigerians. And these are the ones that are giving the rest Nigerians a very bad name, which is very bad. So that is why I want to see how many good Nigerians that I can get to prepared to take advantage of the digital age so that we will have established businesses online, a lot of established businesses online being run by Nigerians. So we will not have these, we're not only 419 people, Nigerians are online. Because the 419 people, they're the ones that really master a lot of things online. In Nigeria, they call them internet expert, computer expert. But they are really not expert in anything. They just understand how to rip people off and how to use the internet to do that. So preparation is basically getting ready. It's basically getting ready for action. It is not when you are ready for action that you start preparing. Preparation, the term preparation, basically means that you are already you are getting warmed up. It's like when in the football match, when somebody they want to change somebody on the pitch, and then they ask the other guy to come and warm up. That guy is now warming up to go to the field and take part in the game. But before warming up, this guy was already prepared. This guy was ready for action. If he was not ready, then he wouldn't be able to take part in the game. So he is prepared. Preparation basically is an act of getting ready for action. Now, we are not prepared. Nigerians mostly are not prepared for action. So we got to start getting prepared for action. And we got to start preparing for this digital age action, because fortunately for us, for Nigerians, for Africa, the digital age has not matured yet. The digital age have not matured yet, because we are still looking into a very big future that is coming with digital technology, with different type of things that are still to come, and therefore we still have a very big chance to catch up. But you cannot be prepared for what you don't know. Now, to show you how big it is, if all the graduates, all the university graduates who are Nigerians, they can be working online and earning money and making a lot of money, and just don't depend on government job or any other government salary in Nigeria. And they will be doing very, very well. And there will be enough room on the internet in various industries to accommodate them. That is how mind-boggling it is. But if you don't know, guess what is going to happen? You're going to have people from India. These guys are 1.3 billion people. Even when it's only 1 billion people, 100 million people, Indians, that are going to be working on internet, that is almost like more than the educated Nigerians. That is how mind-boggling that number is. In India, in the Chinese, there's also 1.2, 1.3 billion. So you see that it's not a big deal to think that 20 million Nigerians can be, working online and earning their living online in the digital technology. For me, it's not a rocket science. It is possibilities. But of course, like we all know, we have government that don't care. So there are a lot of challenges for people who are not able to get these things done, who are not able to get things off the ground. But that should not be, a too discouraging factor for us, because first of all, we have a set of people, Nigerians in the diasporas, who can do something, and then we also have we have some Nigerians back home who are able to do something, but we also have to create a synergy between, instead of having a system where we just send money from here back home for people to eat, we need to look out for people who are willing to get involved, get engaged in the digital technology, and be able to find ways to help them to, get something moving. So those are all areas we can get, doing. So we need to identify the areas of technology that we can get involved. So right now, there are a lot of hot things for the future where Nigerians, you and I, can get involved. I'm already doing these things. So I'm already doing these things. Like I've always say, you got to look at it like there are a lot of things that are going on right now in information, on the internet, information technology or wherever, that people are doing all over the world, that you can be doing. And one, if you can create multiple source of income by doing these things. When we say multiple source of income, we're referring to like you have 5, 6, 7 areas of incomes that are coming your way. Income number one, $50, $100, $300, $400, and when you add them together, they become serious amount of money at the end of the month. So these are things that people need to start looking at. So there are a lot of possibilities. In this video, I will not be able to tell you all the possibilities. Otherwise, we'll just be here the whole night. So what I want to appeal to you is that you got to watch me, You got to watch me every day. And I will be giving you 1 or 2 hints every day, and until I run out of hints. So that's what's going to happen. So because of that, you will be getting something from me every day in this digital world. We're going to be talking about things, how to sell online, things you can sell online. I know a lot of Nigerians say, oh, well, I like to sell online, but I cannot collect money. So I'm working with some people to create an online payment method that you can collect money from, the Western world. You can collect money, hard currency, and supply your goods. So those are possibilities that can be achieved, later on. But we need to keep things honest, because one of the reasons why the world is against us, it's not because they hate black people, they don't. But there's so much fraud going on in Nigeria that nobody wants to do business with Nigeria. It's like now I'm training a bunch of students to invest in the stock market. But the problems they have is that when you are from Nigeria, you cannot create a stockbroker account, a trading account in the Western world. You cannot create a trading account in the US. You cannot create a trading account, in the UK. So therefore, it becomes a problem for these people. So we are also working on that to ensure that people can create from Nigeria trading accounts in US dollar, or in British pounds, so that they can invest in foreign companies. Because there's a lot of money to be earned in investing in foreign companies. I'll give you an example. There are a lot of guys in Nigeria, they work, and at the end they are paid a certain amount of money as gratuity. But this gratuity is paid in Naira, and they eat it up, and they go and start a business in Nigeria, and this business failed because of the nature of Nigeria. Whereas, if they had the opportunity to invest this money in foreign companies like GE, like Microsoft, like Google, like Amazon, very world reputable companies, and then they will be able to get dividends and stock appreciation at the end of every year, and they'll be able to, when they transfer it to Naira, they will have serious capital. That is how people keep their wealth. That is how people build their wealth in Europe and America. But the problem is that in Nigeria, you will work and work and work and work. Even when they pay you gratuity of 10 million, the 10 million will be finished and you still have nothing. So we have to start putting an end to this type of things, because that is one of the things that is keeping our people backward. We have to start putting an end to it. And I'm geared towards making a change, making a difference, because we need to start thinking global. We need to start thinking global. The idea that when somebody finishes school, is sit down in Nigeria, looking for a job in Nigeria, trying to sell spare parts in Nigeria, try to sell this in Nigeria, do this in Nigeria, do this in Nigeria, that is no longer working. That is an archaic way of doing things. That is like 14th century way of doing things. The way things work these days is that, look, we have a global village. We have a global village, whereas, look, sometimes people don't even know where I am in the world. I can be sitting some, like now, people, I can be anywhere. And as long as I have my laptop, I can be making money. I can be selling something online. I can be building a website. I can be doing anything, any money. So the fact that you have to be in Europe or you have to be in America to make money legally is no longer the case. Or the fact that you have to wake up in the morning and go to work every day, come back in the rain, in the cold, is no longer the case. Honestly, I've been in this house for the past 1 week and I've not stepped a foot out of the house. Because the weather is bad outside. I hate the cold weather. Supposed to have been in Florida by now, but something delayed me. I'm stuck here. I'm happy where I am. But, basically, it just shows you, look, I wake up and do my work. When I like, I have my own rhythm. And I don't have to go to work in the rain, come back in the rain, or in the cold, in the snow. I don't have to do that. But I do business all over the world. All over the world. So, and everybody can do that. Everybody can do that. You just have to understand that, first of all, that is possible. That is a part of the possibilities today. It is not something that is going to be happening next year, 2 years, 10 years from now. No. This is already happening, and I don't care what country you are. You can be in Nigeria, you can be in Togo, you can be in Italy, you can be anywhere you are in the world. These things are already happening, and I want you to drill down into these possibilities for you to start making use of it. So that's why you have to follow this series, because this series, I'm just warming up, telling you what is going to come. So please don't expect to hear everything today, because that's not how it works. I'm just psyching you up. So you really need to understand that, look, we are living in a global village. A global village means that when you have a village, like you have where you come from, a village, everything is in that village. You can just walk in there and get whatever you want. The Onoje is there, the chief is there, the Oba is there, everything's in that village. You have wealth, everything, you have food, you have farm, everything's in that village. That's how the world is becoming. So therefore, we need to start thinking, you need to start thinking global. I see a lot of Nigerians, they write me and say, look, we want to do business. Say, how do you want to do it? They will tell me the story. I say, but this is not global. It's not global. Why do you have to think global? Because if you have, for example, this is a small book somebody wrote and he's selling it. Okay. This small book, if this guy is selling it in Australia, in his town in Australia, in Brisbane, for example, maybe he sells 10 in Brisbane. Okay, the 10 is not going to pay his bill, right? Now, suddenly, this guy takes this book, take it global. Suddenly he's selling 20 in Amsterdam, 10 in the UK, 5 in Arizona, selling everywhere. So suddenly this guy is selling 300 books a month. So he's making $3 per book, so he's making $900 a month. That is going global. So, and that is with everything you do. So when you are thinking as a part of your preparation for business, you need to think about what you can do that you can go global. You don't have to be big. You don't have to be big, but big in the sense that you don't have to sell millions of anything you are doing. However, to make money in the world today, you need to think global. Okay? So that means when you are thinking global, you need to understand that the consequence of thinking global. That means that the stuff you are selling, you must be able to move it from one place to the other. And as efficient as possible, you must be able to move that stuff from one place to the other. A lot of stuff are difficult to move. So, like, you cannot sell a car from Lagos and move it to, Muchin. It won't work. So you got to look for something you can sell, even when you are in Lagos, that you know you can easily move to Muchin and move to Amsterdam. And what are those? Those are digital products. So those are digital things. And people can say, oh, what is I cannot, this digital thing, I don't know how this one works. But it's not as complex as you think. We're going to be taking a look at a lot of digital products that you discover that you can be in your house, you can sell these things. You don't even have to be there. Somebody else will process everything for you. Okay? So that is how it was. And long time ago, I didn't take this thing seriously because I was, in a way, because how do I say it? I know it works, but I always think, oh yeah, everybody know how to do it. Okay, I thought everybody know how to do it. So me, I just mind my business and do everything. But later, I discovered that a lot of people just didn't know how to make money. A lot of people didn't know how to go about it. A lot of people were just not making money. Honestly, I really didn't know. So when I said to people, I say, look, why can't you make some, people just tell to me, oh, they don't know how to do it. So I was shocked, and now I have to believe that really people don't know how to do it. It's not that they are lazy, they just don't know how to. So that I say, okay, look, I'm going to spend my time this year to teach people how to do it. Okay? So when people know how to do it, they can start making some money for themselves. So maybe when they see me, they'll buy me a bottle of beer. Then I will be, I'll be happy. Okay? So first of all, you got to, so I want you, after today, you got a weekend to do it. Because tomorrow, I will not be making a show tomorrow. Why? I'll be making one on Sunday. Why I will not be making a show tomorrow? Because I have a class. I teach, my, stock trading classes at 7 p.m. UK time. So it overruns to 8:30 most of the time. So I won't have time to make this video. But on Sunday, I will be making it. So you will have me Monday to Sunday. But I will skip Saturday. Because Saturday I do something else. Okay? So therefore, I will be teaching you how to, the right things to do, how to do them based on your skills. I don't know, maybe you can help to sending me things. You just put a comment under this video, things that your ideas, your skills, your things you are interested in. Because look, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you are interested in. There is always something you can do to make extra buck. I believe that very seriously. It's always something you can do to make extra buck. It's just that you got to, if you're a photographer, for example, I saw people in Nigeria, they carry camera. Say, my brother buy them for me from America. Okay, so your brother buy this photograph, a very powerful what they call this, camera. So I said, look, why are you not making money with this one? And he say he's going to a wedding ceremony, going to this. No, if you use that camera, I was telling this guy, they don't buy film anymore. You don't wash pictures anymore. So you have a chip you put inside. You go and use this thing. You take 1 million pictures. Okay. Go and upload it at stock Photoshop photograph company, and at the end of the year you will be making like $1,000 a month from it minimum. You don't just go and take some crappy photos. They will throw you out. Nobody want to take you to go there with their crappy photos, but you need to prepare, learn how to take special good photography, understand how lighting work. Understand how, what a positioning work, framing, how, point of view works, and all those type of stuff. I know this stuff because I studied them. And then go and take photos. Go and take photos of special, things. Even when you see a child that is with a bowl begging, by the bus stop, there's a way you will frame that picture. It can even get an award. Okay, that picture can even get an award. People got to develop eyes for these things. Go to take pictures of flowers, pictures of special trees, pictures of a crazy policeman on the side of the road. Take pictures of people who are looking happy, people who are looking sad, people who pose in a special way. Take pictures of people who have very special clothes on, special angle. Frame it professionally. Take this picture and I will tell you where to upload it. If you just keep doing this every day, because like I said, they don't watch film anymore now. You don't have to take the film to the photographer like they used to do a long time ago, say you watch it. So because now you don't have enough money to go and watch the film. That's why you couldn't do it. No. You can take 1,000 pictures. I have a chip in my camera that can take 4,000 pictures. I'm trying to fill that chip up. I cannot fill the chip up. So these things are out there. I have a guide, people in Germany making money, people in Texas, people in Sweden, all over the world making money from it. But why are Nigerians not making a dime with all this technology? I don't understand it. So you got to go and start doing something like that. So, I'm really passionate about photography, and I'm passionate about that you can make money with it. And, the crazy part of it is that a guy in New York, if he makes like $200 a month, it's not a big money. Cannot even pay for rent. Whereas a guy in Nigeria that makes $200 a month is a king. It's about 70,000 naira. Somebody is making 70,000 naira in Nigeria just by playing around with his camera. This guy is like one of the richest guy in the neighborhood. Okay? So you got to play some more. These things don't cost a lot of trouble. So you got to be prepared for it. Go on internet, find out photography books, find out all this, research it, and get it done. Within the month, you start making money. I'm sure of that, Okay, so the next thing I like to talk about is about books. I see a lot of guys, they write books, okay? They write books, good idea. Now, there's one thing about writing books. It is very, very difficult to write a book. I've written books, so I know how difficult it is to write a book. I'm writing one right now. It's very difficult to write a book, okay? So, but if you write a book, if you are brave enough to write a book, now, you need to understand one thing. Before you write a book, you got to be prepared. Prepare your market. Find out what type of people are you writing for, okay? And how much are you going to sell your book, and how much are you planning to make from a book? If you want to make money from a book, if you want to make money from writing a book, so go and sit down and make a very, very detailed research on that book, because people don't get rich from writing books. That's just the story. I know people, the woman who wrote Harry Potter became a billionaire from writing books. Yeah, that can happen. There are people who have made millions from writing books, but not everybody is doing that. So therefore, and one of the reasons where you can improve your odds when you are a writer is, first of all, to decide if you are going to be writing just because you want to have a book with your name on it as ego. You say, either I'm an author, a published author, I have my own book, so that you can show people the books you have written. If that is the case, just go ahead and write something you want to write, okay? But if you think that you want to write a book so that you can make some money out of it, then it's not a good idea to just go and write a book. You need to go and prepare for that book. You need to find out what type of books are selling in the market. You go to Amazon.com, go and find out their bestseller books. Amazon will give you the 100 bestseller books in all categories in Amazon. And then you can go to each category and you can also see the top 100 books. Go and find out the top 100 books of Amazon and find out what genres are the books from. Are they, novel? What type of novel? Is it a thriller? I know there was a time vampire stories were selling very well. Everybody was reading vampire story. on Amazon. So a lot of people were writing a lot of stupid vampire stories and they were making money. So if you don't know what is selling, you're just going to write a book for writing a book's sake. You're just wasting your time and energy. You shouldn't do that. That's a very bad way to do it. So you have to make your research. Again, get ready. Prepare yourself. Get ready to hit the market. Okay? So you got to go to Amazon and find that out. And once you find it out, then you have to put your stories together, write it and put it out there. One of the great things that sell a lot on Amazon are children books. Okay, and I always tell people, are there no Nigerians out there who can write children books? Of course they are, but where are they? I don't see them. So if you can write a Nigerian, children book, write this children book, format it in a special children way, put it on, online on Amazon.com. There are even foreign people, Europeans, Americans, Asians who love African stories. When I was a kid, they used to tell us stories in Nigeria, African stories about the turtles and a lion and all that. Those are great stories, These stories are no longer told. It's just about witchcraft and the Ogun and the Ishango. That's what they are told now. But we have indigenous African stories of lion, of a goat, or whatever. And these are beautiful stories. If you just learn to put these stories properly in a story form and publish it in very short stories and you can sell it, you can make a ton of money on Amazon doing this type of stuff. But you got to get prepared. You got to find out how they are doing these things, how the formatting works, what type of stories, what type of language are they using. Because the type of language they use in Nigeria, that's not what they read in America. Remember, your market is global, okay? So your market is global. Because I'm talking to Nigerians, so I talk like this. If I was talking to American audience or a worldwide audience with this video, I will speak completely different, okay? I will speak completely different and I will speak a little bit more softer as well because I'm talking to a more foreign audience. But because I'm talking to a Nigerian audience, I will talk with my mouth very open, like a Nigerian now. So you need to modulate your stuff so that it fits the market you are trying to work on. Okay, that's that. So that is the other aspect. So the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And remember, we just talk. These are digital. You can write a book. You can take pictures. You can duplicate it 1 million times. You have not left the house to duplicate it. It's not costing you anything. It's almost free to send this thing. So if you have a book you are selling at electronic book you are selling at $3 and they are paying you $2 for just writing it, it's a lot of money. So I have books that I wrote. I think about 6 years ago. These books they are still paying me for these books. Every month I think, maybe this month they won't pay anymore. And every month I will still get a check with these books on it, with money being paid. I didn't write much for a very long time because I was busy with so many things. But if my profession was writing, and that was what I wanted to do for a living, by now I would have been able to accumulate at least $100,000 a year income just from writing and putting it on Amazon. Okay? So that is how powerful it is. And that is, so I can go on and give you 100 different stuff like this, what you can do to get money. But at the same time, I would like to encourage you to think broadly. People say you have to think out of the box. I don't use that terms, think out of the box, because you shouldn't be in the box in the first place. Your thoughts shouldn't be boxed in the first place. So you got to think broadly. The other thing I always say to people, look, no matter how crazy your idea is, there are 50,000 people out there who have the same ideas as you have. Okay, so if you have an idea, say, I want to do this thing online, I want to do this business online, rest assured that in the whole world there are 50,000 people who think like you, who are prepared to buy that stuff from you. Okay, but the thing is that what most normally happen with people is that once people think about an idea, and some crazy idea, they go and tell somebody, say, this is what I thought. The person say, you they crazy? Well, you is a stupid idea. Nobody's gonna buy this from you. It's not true. It's not true. The worst idea you can think of, there's somebody who is 50,000 people who have the same idea, who are willing to have talk about that. That's true. That's true. So you just have to know how to formulate your ideas, how to put it down, how to really work on it to make the money. Sometimes you can have it. Sometimes you can have it. It's like somebody wrote a book in a Yoruba book, very big Yoruba book. And he said, yeah, but nobody's buying the book. Okay? So he asked me, why is nobody not buying the book? I said, nobody's buying the book because, the book is too big. The book is too big, so why should somebody buy it? And the book doesn't make any sense. It's just a Yoruba book. It would have made more sense if you created a book on how to study Yoruba. Okay? Yoruba language made it easy. And then instead of having a book that is this thick, you have little pamphlets about Yoruba language, how to learn Yoruba language in a very simple terms. That would be a great book. That would be something that people, in some part of the world want. There's even a town in America, it's a Yoruba town. You won't believe it. Everybody in that town speaks Yoruba. I don't even remember. Probably the name of that town is even Yoruba town. Everybody in that town speaks Yoruba. It's in America. Go and Google it. So probably they might want to learn Yoruba language from you. So you can produce a course. There are Nigerians who are married to foreigners who their partners want to learn Nigerian language. But these partners cannot learn in Nigerian language because, they don't have materials to learn it. You could create a Nigerian language course. If he's already there, they go and sell it. If it's not there, you could prepare a Nigerian language book, a Nigerian language course, a Nigerian language DVD, a Nigerian language, Nigerian language, videos, okay? Or if you were in America, you were in England. I know a lot of Nigerians who lives in England. They speak very perfect British accent, okay? Because some of them were born in England, so they speak like British people. So then you have other set of Nigerians that come. This guy, you can tell immediately that, look, this guy is, this guy just came in. This guy just speak Nigerian English, gone. And one thing people really don't know is this. If you live in a foreign country and you don't speak refined English, you might be speaking correct English, but if it's not refined, nobody is understanding you. Therefore, it is difficult to get a job sometimes. It's difficult to get good position in companies sometimes and so forth. So you need to learn how to speak in the local accent. So in this case, don't go and learn. In England, you could learn how to speak like a Liverpool accent or a Hackney accent or so. But these accents they are weird accents. I find. Go and learn Queen's English, how to speak like the Queen. So okay. So if you are a Nigerian. Let's get serious now. If you are a Nigerian, you could create a training material, to teach fellow Africans how to speak with the, British refined accent, okay? Because I discover as well, and this is what I discovered, that Africans sometimes will take something from a fellow African, okay? And they will learn from a fellow African, but they will be ashamed to learn from a white person, okay? So they will be ashamed to go to, a European to say, okay, I want to learn the Queen's accent from you, because they feel shy about that, because they think that if they are not able to speak the Queen's accent, then somebody might feel that they are stupid. So that's just the thought in the mind, okay? But they might prefer to go to a fellow Nigerian who speak very perfect British accent to say, okay, please teach me this stuff. That's a huge business on its own. That's a huge business on its own. And then it's now up to you to convince people that, look, you got to learn to speak the British accent if you live in England. If you live in New York, you learn to speak the New York accent. If you live in California, you need to learn to speak the California accent, because it's going to give you, a better opportunities in the society. For one thing, what people don't realize is, sometimes people just don't understand you if your English is different from theirs. It's not that you are stupid. It's not that you are speaking, weird. It's just that the way it sound is music in the ears of people. So if you are talking in a way that they don't understand you, it just means that you're not communicating. So therefore, people like to shy away from someone they don't understand. So that's why it's important to make sure you can switch your accent very fast when you are depending on where you are, okay? So that's something you need to learn. But there is money in that. Think about how many Africans you know in your neighborhood who just talk, but with very bad accents, okay? So if you go and make a training, honestly, if you make a training online, publish it, that you are teaching Africans how to speak British accent, you will be surprised how many students you have. The same thing, in America. The same thing in German. If you're a German African and you can speak very good German with a perfect German accent, you can teach people how to do this. Okay? What people don't understand is that these days you can sit down in your home and be making extra $200 a week, extra 200 pounds, extra 200. You like me, I mentor people online. The technology is so easy, like I'm talking to you now, it's one-way traffic, but I could be doing it in a two-way traffic, okay, with Skype. So I can actually be teaching you a language in Skype, and then I will listen to you, and then I will correct your accent, and, go vice versa, okay? So we can have a two-way conversation with Skype. You don't have to pay. How do you say it? You don't even have to pay anything for it these days. Today, the technology to make money online is so free, it's so easy, it's mind-boggling. You don't have to. You can be on Skype having a face-to-face conversation like this for free. I'm talking to you now for free. 10 years ago, this same technology that I'm using talking to you now would have cost me $10,000 a month. And now it's just free. So why is it that 10 years ago, people were able to make money with this free technology, what is free now? So people were able to make a lot of money running the school. My first online school, I actually established it, where was that? 2002. That was when I established my first online school with videos, okay? Talk less of today, and it was so expensive then. We had to buy a video digitizer for $20,000. You sweat when buying these things. But today, it's so easy to set up. You get a camera, you flip it, and you say, okay, talk now, and then you start talking. So guys, you need to start finding out what type of business can you do using the modern technology. Can you mentor people, okay, face to face? People pay for it, even when it's $10, $20 an hour. Mentoring somebody one-on-one is better than going to the factory for $10 an hour, okay? Even when you have gone to the factory, you can still come back home and do 3 hours one-on-one discussion with somebody. So instead of going to sit down and watch TV the whole evening, well, like I could be watching TV now, but I don't. So, but I'm teaching you for free because I want you to be a better person. So you could You could do this, what I'm doing now, but for others, and people pay for it, $20 an hour. So 3 hours a day, that's $60. If you are in Europe, England, £60. If you are in a euro area, 60 euros. Okay, and as you get better, you can increase the money. You get, after some time, you have 50 euros an hour. Okay, so by the time you get 50 euros an hour, you're looking at 150 euros a day. So many people say, so Nigerians will say, I know they work, you know they work. If they work, you just have to be convinced that it they work. And you just have to give it a try. You got to work. You got to work at it. You got to practice. You got to get perfect. You got to be prepared to work for free to start with. You have to be prepared to drag somebody in front of the camera on the other side. Say, come, go call me. Let me talk to you. Let me pretend that I'm teaching you. So for you to be you have to practice. Get engaged. You start to get better. You see, because you want to train. I see people, they say they were, in Africa, they were even PhD, they have PhD. So you have PhD, and then you come to Europe, and you become a taxi driver. Nothing wrong with that. But you shouldn't stay a taxi driver for a very long time, because you got to start somewhere to get ahead. But after, you got to bring your profession back to play. The profession you had already, it got to come out, because right now we're in the global technology, we're in the global village. There is somebody out there that requires knowledge from you. Somebody wants to tell me, somebody said to me, but I don't have any other qualification. Really? So as what qualification do you have? Yes, I just finished my PhD. Really? You just finished your PhD and you have no further qualification? Do you know how many people wish they had a PhD? So then I said, look, if you have a PhD, have you written, that means you have written your final thesis. I say, yes. Okay. Do you know how many people today are trying to write their thesis and they cannot write it? Both on a first degree, master degree, and PhD thesis that they cannot write it. They don't know how to do it. They are struggling with it. Do you know how much they are willing to pay for somebody to educate them, to teach them how to write it? Doesn't mean you are going to do it for them, because that is not allowed there. But you can teach them how to do it. And that alone is worth something now. I can see myself charging somebody $500 just to teach them how to write thesis. So it's 500 quid. So me, I got 2 students a month. I'm okay with that. 1,000 quid. It's enough to buy some drinks. It's enough to pay rent. It's enough to eat for the whole month, for crying out loud. So that's how you build up multiple sources of income. So you get small here, small here, small here, small here, small here, small here, small here. Before you know it, you got $2,000, $3,000 a month, and you are just warming up. Because after you've laid the foundation of about 5 to 6 different income area, and then you start increasing the price, increasing your quality. Because why are you increasing the price? Because you are not getting better. You are getting better. So the value you are providing to your student, to your people, is getting more. So you are increasing the price. So the job that is costing you, say, you work 3 hours, you get $500 before. Now you are getting $2,000 for it at the end of the month. That's how you build up this multiple source of income. So now we're just warming up. So people will still tell me, they work. They work because you have not tried it. So you gotta believe me that it they work. So you gotta try something. Go and try something. Think about something. That's the first place. Think about something, and then do your research. As you start doing research, you start discovering that there are things out there you never thought of. Okay? There are things out there that you never thought existed in this world, but they actually exist. And not only that they exist, but they're actually working. And you can actually make money with it. And you can do it. You don't need me. You can do it. You don't need another person. And you know what? You already have what it takes to do it. If we're talking about, like mentoring people online, you can do it. I am using my camera, my Samsung S5 phone. That's what I'm using right now. And I have a cheap microphone that I use with it. And it was very fine. I can show you. This one, I bought it at $12 at Amazon. One of the best microphone ever. And it was very fine. So, and I'm talking with you. So I can be charging you money for doing this. Okay? So that's one thing. And on the other hand is, if you are not, you can say, but I cannot talk like you. Yes, but not everybody can talk like me. But I was also not born talking. I was not born talking. I had to learn it also. I had to, before I come on stage, I don't just wake up and start spitting out stuff. I have to configure these things in my head. I have to study. I have to research. I have to learn a lot of things. And so when you hear me speak with you fluently, is because I've learned so much, prepared so much for a long time. My preparation has been going on for a very long time. And therefore, I can speak with authority on so many issues. And anybody can do that. It's just that you got to spend the time to prepare. That's why today, the conversation is really about preparation. Because I've discovered that, look, it's one thing to know how to make money. It's one thing to know to where you can make money. But it's another thing to be ready to be able to do it. Most of our people are not ready. Most of our people are not ready. Why? Why are most of our people not ready? Because the time, they don't spend the time. They don't spend the time to be ready. Okay? People say they don't have time. Yeah, everybody has time. Trust me. Everybody has time. It is the priority. Putting it as a priority that this is what you're going to do. I hate to see people waste away because they say they don't have time. Like I work very hard. But when I take holiday, I spoil myself. I go and stay, one of the coolest hotel. I enjoy myself. I fly business class there. I relax. I chill. I say, I work hard and play hard. That's my motto. When you work hard, you must be able to treat yourself because you've worked hard for the money. Okay? So we all can do it. It's not a reserved privilege for people like me. It's just that we have understood the game for a very long time. Realized that, look, Rome was not built in a day. So there's a lot of hard work that will result to where we are. If you think that you are not like me today, okay, if you think you are not like me yet, is because, first of all, you have not put in enough time like I have put in, because you're not as old as I am, number one. Number two, because you have not you've not put enough time into it because you are not investing your time properly yet. So anybody can do what I do. Anybody can do more than I do. It's just that you got to, once you know the path to it, you got to start putting in the time. Okay? It's like if somebody drop you in the middle of nowhere and say you're going to walk home, and they give you a map. They say, okay, look, this is a map. They give you a computer with a GPS coordination and say, you need to walk back home. You don't sit down there and say, look, they work. I can't walk back home. No, you have a GPS coordinator. You know where you are. You know where your home is. So what do? You have to go to look at the direction of you need to walk to that the GPS have shown you, and you have to start putting in the time. Step by step, step by step, step by step. That's all it takes, step by step. So there are things you're going to learn to do. Like today, I always say to people, you got to learn how to do basic things on the internet. You got to learn to set up your own website. You have to have a domain name. You have to learn to use a professional email, not the Yahoo email or the Gmail, your own domain email, your domain name. All these things you need to learn it. You have to start branding yourself. I have a video on branding and things like that, and I can tell you a lot more about branding. I'm good at it. So all these things you need to start doing. But first of all, you need to prepare. The preparation is just the most important thing. You need to do your research this weekend. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do for me this weekend. Go and think about, write down everything you can think about yourself in a positive way. Okay? If you are a handsome person, you write it down. What are your likes? What do you like? You write it down. And there is one thing, and that is the thing that really excites you. You write it down. Like for me, what excites me is this. A lot of things excite me, but films excite me because I love films. I love films, and I used to analyze movies. If I'm watching movies, I watch it differently than some people. And there are people that watch movies like I watch movies. They watch movies in a different way. But I watch movies, I look at the scenes, the way the camera angles are, the framing. I look at it, I listen to the dialogue. So I will find a film fascinating, certain dialogue fascinating. I will later repeat that dialogue again. It is great. It's like there's a famous scene from one of the James Bond film with Pierce Brosnan and Q when it was it's a fascinating dialogue. But if I tell you that, you don't find it funny, probably not. But if you listen to the dialogue, it's just breathtaking. And for people, I admire people who can pen down such dialogue. It's powerful. So I'm fascinated about that. So you write it down. Say you are fascinated about film. Because things that you are fascinated about, that's where the money is. Not things that somebody is forcing you to go and do. There are things that you're fascinated about. You see, I'm fascinated about film. I'm fascinated about computers. Computers, digital products. I'm fascinated about, what else am I fascinated about? I'm fascinated about videos. That's why I make videos. I configure videos. I study lighting of videos. A lot of things, anything that has to do with videos, I'm fascinated about it. So I'm fascinated about teaching. So I know there is no software out there that helps to teach online that I don't know. There's no system out there that I don't know. I'm fascinated about it. So now you get it. Write it down. These are things that you're fascinated about. Because the things that you are fascinated about, that's where your money is. That's because you know more. You know more about it than millions of other people. Okay? I know more about films than millions of people here on earth. Because I'm fascinated about it. I spend a great deal of time, fascinated about it. So therefore, if I can start a business in film, anything that has to do with film, I make a lot of money from it. In fact, I have some business in pipeline that I'm prepared to do in the future in filming. The same thing with computers. The same thing with the internet. The same thing with information, security. Okay? So if you are fascinated about writing, that is just your thing. If any small thing you want to go write something, there's money to be earned there. If you are fascinated about reading, like my wife, she reads like 500 books a year. It is crazy. If you're like that, wow, the whole world is in your pocket. There's so much money you can make just by reading books. Okay, so people say, this man, they talk too much. How can I make money from reading books? Yeah, if you read books, you can start writing reviews from books. You can be a critic. You can have a blog and start writing reviews and criticizing books and writing whatever you want. It's your world. Just go crazy about it Before you know it, you become famous because that's what you do. So you need to look at what you are fascinated at. Okay? What are you fascinated? And you know what? The more crazy it is, the better. If you are fascinated about pig, or snail, you know this African snail, you won't believe it. There's a whole bunch of white women in Belgium who collect these snails. This big Nigerian snail. Each one costs like 35 euros, even more than that. I forgot how much they are selling it. But they sell these things. They write about these things. Each one has a history. They will tell you where it comes from, which country it comes from, the year that one was born, and it is crazy out there. How can a white woman be so fascinated about snail, and you have black women that cannot even write about snail? I mean, it is crazy. We should be writing about snail and selling it to them. And I was telling somebody last time, I said, we were in Nigeria looking at some of these Nigerian dwarf gods. It's a true story. Nigerian dwarf gods. They were all playing around in the street. And so I was telling the guy, do you know in America, in Texas, people are crazy about this god? He said, a lie, it can't be. Yes. You see, in Texas, a lot of farms in Texas, a lot of people in Texas, they love these Nigerian dwarf gods. So these dwarf gods, they're very expensive in Texas. But we are using them for pepper soup in Nigeria. Now, well, you cannot carry a goat from Nigeria you can carry a goat from Nigeria to Texas, okay? You have to give it a special name, give it a crown, say this one, king of goats. You can sell it in Texas, but that's not the story. The story is that if our people were just smart enough to start writing about Nigerian dwarf goats, and write interesting story about it. If you write a children's book with about Nigerian dwarf goat, you have a Nigerian dwarf goat hero. You can sell this children's book to the Nigerian Dwarf Goat Association in Texas. Yes, it is a true association. Go and Google it. Nigerian dwarf goat is loved in Texas. It's loved in Oklahoma, in America. Okay, so this is, I cannot do everything. I cannot write a Nigerian dwarf goat book. I go and write for children, I write for adults, write the history of Nigerian dwarf goat. I cannot do everything, but there's so much out there you can do from our history, from things that we know, from things that from our source that people in the world are crazy about. It's just mind-boggling. And if you become the Nigerian dwarf goat expert tomorrow, I bet you, the money you will be making, you yourself will be stoned. Or your expertise is, you are expert in, you have made all the research about that's big giant snail from Nigeria. The money you will be making from it, only God will know. Or you have made all the research about this Nigerian grass cutter. Because these things are only found in Nigeria. Okay? And the white people, they will look at this thing, they will be stoned, say, wow. So just give you a final example to know how crazy this all is. In Nigeria and Ghana, especially Nigeria, the Ghanaians copied it from us. We tap the palm wine. We tap palm wine, okay? Although they have palm trees in Malaysia, but they don't tap the wine the way we do. They don't drink it like we do, So probably they do now. I've not been to Malaysia, but I've not seen it in the market, okay? So now, if somebody is just writing about the Nigerian palm wine and publish it in the global and film how it is done, make proper filming and not the type of film they do in Nigeria or like this. No, proper documentary filming, talk about it. You have to do it like the Americans. The Americans can make an excitement out of nothing. Okay? So if we I know there's some movie makers that are watching me. Make excitement out of nothing. The Americans are very good at it. See, the Americans will be shouting over little things. You think that, it's so exciting. No, it's not. So learn, it's a skill. Learn to make something great out of nothing. And when you can do that, even the palm wine business, the palm wine tapper, tell the history of palm wine tapping, the history of the palm wine, how palm wine came about. Tell a story about how somebody got drunk and he was running around without clothes outside. It's funny stories. This is what people love. You see, that is how you take over the world. And all these are all things that people are exposed to in our country. Our people are exposed to. And yet our people say, oh, making money is hard. Yes, it is hard. It's because you don't know. Okay? So that's what I call preparation. So you need to put all these ideas, you need to start putting, as I'm talking to you now, this is what we call brainstorm. You need to brainstorm these things with yourself. You need to put it down. That's why I have, a board at the back. I always brainstorm. On my own, I pick up a pen and start writing on the board. That's what I do. I brainstorm ideas. Once you have brainstormed all these ideas, then you will start seeing things that you do so naturally. So naturally. It doesn't cost you things to do. Like a lot of people, I don't know if we have a lot of Africans that collect things, but in Europe you have people who collect old, small cars. People who collect pen. We have people who collect stamps, people who collect coins, and all this type of things. So these things make money. It's not really collection, but people who write about those things. Like if I say nobody, I don't know if there are people who collect stamps in Nigeria and how good are they, and if they know the history of these stamps, they know the history of this money. Long time ago, we used to have money with the hole inside. There's a history to that. This coin, there was a big hole inside. So they used to put a rope. When we were going to school, my mother would put a rope through it and tie it on our neck so that we don't lose the coin. That coin it was in Nigeria. It was a Nigerian coin. But nobody, I don't know where it is now. Nobody knows what it's all about. You can write about it. So there are so many things we can do. There's so many things we can do. I still remember when I was, one time I came to Nigeria, long time ago, and I was collecting Naira bills. People say, hey, what do you want to do? What do you do with it? They were out of print Naira bill. You want the Buhari change? In the first coming of Buhari, he changed those. So I collected all those money because they were no longer legal tender. So when I came back to Europe, I put them on sales. I sold them to a collector. Made some money out of it. Because there are people who collect this stuff. So imagine selling 10 Naira now that you got for free in Nigeria. You are now selling it for $10. It's ridiculous, but I did it. So a lot of people don't know that. That's why I always say, in Nigeria, there is a bag of money there waiting for you to carry. Only people don't know that there is a bag of money next to them. So you got to expand your scope. You got to expand your scope. That's the trick of making money in the digital world. And I'm going to be talking more about it. Hopefully, after 10 days of talking, then your scope will start expanding. Hopefully, I will say something that you will say, now I got something. One idea. If you can get one idea of mine and run with it, I'll be able to make money with it. Then I'll be happy. Just one idea. You don't need all my crazy ideas to work with. One idea that you can run with it. When I mean run with it, means that you can even use it better than I have done or I can. That is running with it. Because I've done that with a lot of people in the world. People will hear one thing from me, that will just spark their brain and will start running like a mad person and they will get it done. And even when I see it later, I'll go, wow, well done. Okay, so folks, that's it for me. Today is Friday evening. I'm going to watch a movie tonight, so I don't know what the movie is yet, but I'm going to watch a movie tonight. And I have this, movie room with a big screen. So I spend now and then time there to watch film these days because film is really one of my favorite things. I like watching one or two films weekly. So I didn't do that for a very long time, but I've started doing it again because I think some people say to me, you work too hard. I say, I believe that. So now I'm going to be taking time to do that. So I'm saying that to everybody, because then if I don't do it today, then that means I'm lying. So I have to go and do it because I don't lie. So thank you very much for watching. So get this thing done. Get this thing done. And these exercises I told you is important. Get it done. Put it under this text, under this video. Do it for yourself. Write it down. On Sunday, around, what shall we say, 8 o'clock UK time, we'll proceed again, and I want to dish out more stuff. So as I go on, it's going to be more difficult all the time. So hopefully you can follow, and then because all this information I'm giving you now, a time is coming, I'll be referring back to it. So hopefully you can make use of it. So who knows, by the time we are done, you will be able to have your own multiple source of income online. So finally, this is not a joke. On the 10th and 11th of March, I'll be in the UK. I'll publish the address where I'm going to be. So it's going to be a 2 days program, because a lot of things I can tell online. There are a lot of things I can tell online, but what I cannot do is to show you real life how it works. Sometimes it's difficult to do that. So when I'm in the UK, I'll be showing people real life how these things work. You'll be seeing it like you see in Nigeria with Koro eye. So, and that's why I have this 2 days program in the UK coming up on the 10th and 11th of March. I hope you'll be there. We only have a limited space. Because they give us a hall. They say, this hall is this is your last one we have. So there's a few people that you can take. So I hope we can accommodate you. So you need to apply on time. You need to be there, because after when you come, then I'm going to really open the Pandora box of how to create 6, various source of income for yourself, real thing that you can implement immediately you go back home. And that will be a great, great, great deal. So you will just have me for like 2 days. We just sit down there and we'll be hammering it out. I'll be able to answer you all the questions you have. And if I don't answer them, then don't let me leave the building. Okay? Thank you very much, guys. Have a nice weekend. I'll see you on Sunday around this time again. So see you then. Have a good night. Bye.